Well, hello, my beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of January right through the end of February 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. Also, just to remind you, I've just opened up a competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So let's get straight to it. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know regarding their current circumstances? Can you please guide them and show them the way? What are they meant to be aware of right now? Can you please highlight to them the path ahead regarding career and personal finances? Can you please show them what to expect for the coming weeks and months? Well, the first card we have there is the fox, okay? So that's you being super clever. I'm actually seeing an image in the water, which is not related, but it tends to tell me something symbolically about perhaps what's going on with you right now. I'm seeing like an alligator in the water. So a couple of energies coming out from that. It could be that you are watching and waiting for something. It could be that you are off grid or under the radar, working on something and you're about to launch it, or perhaps it's something that you are keeping your eye on before you pounce and, take a shot at something, perhaps. I mean, it could also indicate that you feel that someone is watching you, perhaps being micromanaged in some way, someone lurking if you're in an office, for example, or perhaps it's someone in your industry who actually, in a positive way, is keeping an eye on your progress because perhaps they've got an opportunity. I mean, alligators, in the energy I can feel right now, very, very positive, okay? But it could indicate that you, in particular, are doing something behind the scenes and you will be either launching it or doing something to reveal it in the month of February. The fox energy can also be a card that highlights that you're watching and waiting for something. Some of you are working under challenging situations or turbulent times. The fox can indicate that you're being really savvy with your finances because you feel that things are a little bit austere right now. You may feel financially things are challenging and you're just keeping an eye on what you spend your finances on. And it could be that also, if you're looking for a job, you recognize that the job market is a little bit scarce right now, or there's no opportunity that suits whatever it is that you're looking for. And you may feel that perhaps, especially with the fox being there, it could be that, especially if you're looking for a role, a new job or a new endeavor, it could be that you've been met with people telling you that you're overqualified, which basically means that they love your gifts, they love your talents, and they really want to employ you. However, either their budget does not extend to reflect what you deserve in a pay packet, shall we say, or perhaps they are being a little bit sly to see if you'll take less than you truly deserve, okay? So that could be the energy that's coming through, but I'm seeing like an alligator, so yeah, please take it as it resonates. Could be a logo, okay? But I always feel the symbolism of it, and I feel more than anything, there is something that perhaps you will be working on behind the scenes, or you're trying to limit distraction at this time, and I feel like you're getting stuff done, let's put it that way. We've got the star in the resistance position. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know? I mean, your outcome energy, we've got the bouquet, which highlights that you're flourishing in your career. There is an opportunity here that perhaps you're going to be talking about in the month of February. And it means that some of you may actually either transition towards something else. So it could be a new project, for example. Some of you could be venturing forward into like a restart. For example, if you've been out of work for a little while, it could be that you're restarting a new path. A new job comes in. I definitely see for those of you who are looking for a role, there is a portal of opportunity opening up for you, and a role which you will really thrive in. It doesn't quite feel like a course correction, but it does feel like you may be migrating your skill set and kind of like trying something new. Learning as you earn, perhaps, or maybe training on the job for some of you. I do definitely see here that it's a very productive time for all of you, whether you are putting your resume out there or, you know, working in whatever it is you do day to day. I will tap into your finances to see what's going on there as well. I mean, the Fool card, fresh new start here, but it's explorative energy. So it could mean that you're tying up loose ends on projects. Perhaps you're starting something fresh and new, an idea, because we do have that Ace of Swords there. Also, for some of you, it could be that you are either getting a new opportunity that you're moving into, but it could also be something like, you know, contracts, service providers, you know, coming to the end of a contractual agreement. You decide whether you renew this or whether you walk away from it. A lot of you are walking away from it in order to find better priced opportunities. So it could be if you're an entrepreneur, for example, and your insurance is up, or your service providers, internet, things like that, some sort of subscription is up and you're like, you know what, I kind of like it, but I can get it cheaper elsewhere. Or it could be that you are downsizing and cutting out anything that perhaps, you know, you don't really utilize anymore. So it could be something like that. I mean, let's tap into your finances energy. I mean, you've got the 8 of coins, you work hard for your money, and I feel like this is a month where you kind of like plateau. It's like sustaining and maintaining the amount of finances that you have. So I do see that there is an alternative opportunity coming in for growth financially to build in wealth. But I feel February very much is replenishing anything you spent from last month, or if you did any seasonal spending over the last couple of months there. I feel like you're replenishing that, and I feel you're maintaining the status quo on your finances. 8 of Pentacles indicates you're keeping your head down, you're working really hard, okay? But also I feel you are in a very explorative time frame for you. February is about trying new things out. This could be like new technology, new software, new hardware, new approaches, new filing systems. So I feel, you know, you're kind of like looking to see what else is out there in your industry, just so you can get ahead of the curve. Some of you may actually start a new course of learning, because that 8 of coins there is about reinvesting in yourself. So if you work for a company, for example, it could be that, you know, you have a meeting, an appraisal with your boss or someone who's in a hierarchical position to offer you an opportunity to train in some sort of new media or train in a different kind of sector so you can expand your skill set. Okay. And if you're an entrepreneur, this could be you investing in a course, something fresh and new, just to keep those ideas alive, just to, you know, almost like find out how to. You're already established at what you do. So this could be stuff online. You know, Ace of Swords there. Swords are about the ether, the internet, connecting to technology. So some of you could actually be learning more about technology, maybe coding, or how to set up websites, or how to kind of like do something that is connected to the internet. Because some of you with that 8 of Cups, you want to free yourself up. It could be that you're thinking of ideas of skills that you have in order to become more nomadic in your career. You know, I'm really getting an energy of like working smarter, not harder, because the 8 of Pentacles, it's like you are putting all the hard work in now, so that either some of you are thinking about retiring early, or, you know, the Fool card can indicate that you want to enjoy more time, you want to have more fun. So you could be changing your schedule over the month of February to either get up super early in order to, you know, get everything done and then have the rest of the day to yourself. Or perhaps you are block booking certain days that you say, okay, I'm going to work from home this day, and then I'm going to be in the office, and then I'm going to have the rest of the week free. Some of you could be working really hard towards that. And if that's not a possibility for you, that Ace of Swords is like, how can I make it a possibility? Ace of Swords is new communication coming in, but it's also lots of new ideas. You know, your brain synapses being like super clever with that fox, coming up with really wonderful ideas so that you can actually, you know, free up your time. Time is such an important factor, and I feel it's like, how can you earn and like learn, but at the same time, how can you be the student of life or be a little bit more free? Because the Fool card is, you know, to be adventurous. It is to like take a chance, a risk on something. Perhaps it's a new way of working. So I feel a lot of you, maybe this is something you're thinking about right now. Even if you are tied to a desk, for example, or whatever it is that you do, some of you could be tied to a hands-on job right now. I feel like you are either setting up a second stream of income or just having an idea that is going to really work to free up your time, okay? And a lot of you, because of that Ace of Swords, it's connected to the ether. It's connected to the internet. So some of you may also be just getting ahead of the curve when it comes to, you know, people using like social media platforms, or like for some of you AI, you know, there's no judgment here. I don't really know anything about AI, to be honest. I know that, you know, it's very prevalent these days, but it could be something that you're working with or thinking about working with, and therefore learning how to utilize it so it benefits you in some way. Now, I'm just going to reel it back. I mean, looking at your finances, as I said, whether you are currently looking for a job, whether you're in a job, or whether you're retired, for example, some of you may want to know about your finances. I feel with the Eight of Coins, you're maintaining the status quo, as I said. You know, this is a routine energy. This tends to mean, you know, a repetitive cycle. So any money you have coming in, it's going to come in, and any bills you have, it's going to go out. So this is like, you know, easy come, easy go, and you are still focused on your finances. So I feel like you are kind of proficient in what you have, and I feel some of you may also be just trying to enjoy your finances in a more resourceful way. So it could be that, you know, you're still getting the best out of life by booking certain things, but you may be looking for discounts, or, you know, you may be looking at the necessities of what you get every week or month, and you could be finding the same product but for a greater deal, for example, so there's more money in your pocket. But your first card there is the Fox, and this is your protagonist energy. So this is your energy. So it tends to tell me that you're being very, very clever on something. But also we've got witty, charm, we've got hidden intentions. So for some of you, it could be, as I said, with that alligator energy, that you are working off grid, or you're under the radar right now, working on something. Either it's moonlighting for some of you, doesn't have to be, but it could be that you are doing something else as a second stream of income, just so that you can, you know, build your empire. But for some of you, it could be that you are, you know, realizing that these are kind of very challenging times economically. So you're doing everything you can in order to put yourself in a very secure position financially. And I feel like, you know, you're being honest. You know, you're not doing anything that is negative there, because you got the Ace of Swords, which means you're true blue. But I have to acknowledge here, because we have a Ten of Wands, okay, it's in the resistance position, which again tells me about a new start, but we have the star energy, and that's in the resistance position as well. Anything hidden comes to light. So a lot of you, it could be a month where you're going to reveal a product or service that you've been working on for a while, but also for some of you, it could be a launch pad to something. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be that you are doing something that is ticking over nicely and it's bringing in solid funds. But the Ace of Swords is a new idea where you get to branch out or try something or launch something new that is going to open doors for you, that is really going to reveal you as like a market contender, is what I'm being given, like someone who challenges the status quo or becomes a rival for people who are quite established in business. And if you're already established in business, I feel like you are kind of staying ahead of the curve in order to beat the competition, as it were. If you work in a company, this could be that you have a new idea that you want to unveil that will help everybody to work together or streamline or be more efficient in your working practices. But I would say be a little bit mindful, because this card can indicate that perhaps someone is keeping their eye on you, micromanaging you. For example, if you are working in a company, it could also be someone may have the potential to take your idea and kind of like pass it off as their own, okay? Now, interesting. Thanks so much. I'm so grateful. I'm being given an energy of someone sneezing. You know, I don't often get that, but sometimes I tap into this energy of someone sneezing. If that's you, bless you, Gesundheit, or whatever it is you say. But I'm being given an energy that some of you may be given an offer, or maybe you're going to offer someone and it's nothing to be sneezed at. There's a sentence there that is quite a cliched sentence. It's said typically, but it could be that something is being offered here for you that perhaps you may want to look into a little bit further, okay? Do your due diligence. Okay, because if there's a contract that seems too good to be true, you got the Fox card, so it can indicate that perhaps there is a clause in that contract or something that you want to review just to make sure that it isn't a negative impact on you. I mean, I don't see it being truly negative, but what I do see here is because we have the Garden, which is an open door, we've also got the Ten of Wands there and the Star. It could indicate that there is something hidden in the contract that says that the contract can be like terminated without any notice, or it could be that it doesn't give you something that would be beneficial for you. So just look out for that. Okay, that's coming through. Now, because there's no people here in your reading, I would say this is about you kind of like having honest intentions and perhaps, you know, speaking your truth, especially if you're going into an interview. You know, there's certain things that you require in a job. And if you go into an interview and you're like, you know what, I just want this job. Okay, that's wonderful. You know, you're going to get the job because I see something is being offered to you. There's a start, for example, a starting period. And I feel, you know, if you're someone who, how can I put that? If you're someone who perhaps is starting a new position and you have like a creative endeavor that you do on the side, you know, if you are running your own business on the side, but you're going into like an office job, for example, just read the contracts. I'm just getting this energy of like, it's almost like they don't want moonlighting, or you're not allowed to work for another company or something in that contract. And it may be something that you miss. But if like you're really proud of whatever it is that you are creatively doing on the side and you mention it to someone in the working environment, this person could be a bit of a tattletale and sort of reveal that, oh, Capricorn, you know, they're doing this job. They're also, you know, creating art and selling their art on the side. You know, they got their own business, and according to the contract, none of us are allowed to have another interest or make money elsewhere, and they're in breach of contract. So I don't know what I'm getting here, but I would just be a little bit mindful. If you go for the interview and this is something that you do, just say, yeah. When they say, you know, got any hobbies or whatever, say, yeah, I run a really successful business at the moment on the side. It's in my own time. It happens when I'm not in the working environment, but it ticks over nicely. And actually, I really want to work for this company, but, you know, I should be upfront about whatever it is I'm doing. And I actually see that they're going to love it. The person who's in charge is like, they want you to succeed. They're like, that's great. That's great. And they will kind of like bypass the fact that perhaps this is in the contract or remove it as a clause from your contract. So that is not going to resonate with everyone, but perhaps it's something that someone out there is going to experience. So I have to mention it because it's come out there. Now let's bring it back to your energy. This is a card, of course, of articulating your needs. I see some of you will have an important meeting over the next month, and it actually opens a door for you. I feel for some of you, this is an opportunity that you will walk into because something is changing for you, because we've got that Ace of Swords, fresh new idea, fresh new start, cutting ties with something. We've got the Eight of Cups, you walking away from something or looking for something that's more fulfilling, shall we say. We've got the Fool card, which is a new adventure, an exciting period where you're going to be very explorative. And of course, we've got that Ten of Wands in the Resistance position, which at first it means a new start. Okay, so for some of you, it could be that you are returning to work after maternity leave. So it could be that you're easing yourself in after a period of being out of, work because you've been raising a child. For some of you, it could also be that you've taken a sabbatical from work for a certain period of time, and you're just getting back into the flow. You're really going to thrive and flourish in the environment, but you may see that there's a little bit of like Office politics is what I'm seeing there, or perhaps no team support. People are really up against it at this moment in time. So you're coming in with like a brighter, lighter kind of energy, but a lot of people are grouchy. That's in the month of February for some reason. Perhaps it's because Mars goes direct during this period. People get a little bit grouchy when Mars does some shifting. But just be mindful of that. But the Ace of Swords, something's being offered to you, okay? So I would say some sort of news comes in. This could be financial news, 8 of Pentacles energy. It's something that you've been working really hard to make progress on. And I feel this is a very exciting time where you actually implement a new craft or skill. So either you're booking a course of learning, reinvesting in yourself, or maybe purchasing new tools for your industry if you're an entrepreneur, software, programs, you know, I see upgrade energy. So it could be that some of you are upgrading your company car or upgrading a business phone, or perhaps you're getting an upgrade on something personally, but it's filtering into your reading right now. Whatever it is, it's going to aid you in making more money, okay? So that's coming through very strongly. I mean, this card, it really means that you're taking responsibility and accountability for your life and your career. It means you're having a breakthrough. There is a major transformative energy here, and I would say that there is going to be a lot of synchronicities in your month, lots of double numbers. Before I came to this reading, I saw 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay, so this may be a number that you're going to see on doors or on your cell phone, someone calling you, a receipt perhaps. So just be mindful of that. But Ace of Swords is like inspiration. You may also have to make a decision about something, and I feel like mentally you're very clear about what you need to decide. You're being rational. I feel a lot of you are cutting the ties to projects and, you know, tying up loose ends and forging a new start. It could literally mean the beginning of February. It could mean, you know, this is the new month. You're clear about what you intend to do. You have a to-do list. You're being very organized and you're being disciplined. This is a card of discipline here. And you have the courage of your convictions to move forward to make more money, okay? 8 of Pentacles, of course, is about enjoying what you do, but also having a greater understanding. So I feel things are developing for you. It almost feels like you're in the development stages for something, but I do see like a launch of something. So if you are an entrepreneur, this could be a launch of an idea, or you've just had an idea that you're going to explore and really grow through, and you'll really flourish and thrive with it, and it will bring in more money and increase your finances. I would say with that 8 of Pentacles, it's giving me strong vibes that a lot of you are going to be able to save some money, okay? So I feel a lot of you are focusing on putting money aside for bills, of course, taking down any debt, repayment plans, 401ks, things like that, practical reasons for putting your money in certain places. But this card can also highlight a new opportunity or a new avenue for work. So a lot of you, it could be like a discussion you have that gives you an idea for something and you start to really explore it. It could be an appraisal that you have with your boss if you work for a company. New doors are opening for you. It feels, because they're in the resistance position, these doors are not quite fully open. It feels like this is something to come, okay? And I feel a lot of you are like preparing for it, okay? But if you are, you know, currently searching for a job, I definitely see that there's 2 available to you, actually, is what I'm being given. If you've put your resume out there, finding new opportunities, there's 2 opportunities available for you. One interview that you go for, they're going to tell you that there's a very high turnover of staff. And this could be a red flag for you, okay? Because if there is such a high turnover for staff, this is highlighting that people are not happy in this environment, or there's someone or something that is making people leave. Okay, so this could be a little bit of a red flag for you. That's something coming through. But the second opportunity, you're like, I feel like home here. This is where you feel like you belong. And of course, that's the one that's going to give you a very nice amount of money for whatever it is that you do, okay? Now, the 8 of Pentacles is also giving me this energy of productivity. You're going to be organized. You are going to be structured, diligent, disciplined, and focused, okay? You're owning your time is what I'm being given. But also I see some of you, if you're in an industry where you can have like royalties or some sort of like increase in money because of something you did in the past. I see something from your past actually paying you dividends or paying you something in the month of February. So, I mean, it could be that you made an investment in a company. If you're into stocks and shares, for example, I see like some sort of extra money like that, but it feels like a small amount is what I see there. For some of you, it could also be a tax rebate. So that's coming through there too. Now we do have the garden. It's in the resistance position at first. So it can indicate right now you're feeling there's not many opportunities to elevate. You may feel like you've hit a glass ceiling or a plateau, but this card will go into the upright. So this can indicate that there is an opportunity, a portal for you that is going to be very, very lucrative indeed. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, I would say you may find an opportunity at a networking event. You're certainly going to be invited to some things in February, maybe at the end of February is what I'm seeing there. This could be like an industry expo or an industry exhibition, or, you know, just some sort of event where it brings like-minded individuals together. I would say this is a very important event, and I feel for some of you, you will walk away with one new contact, but that new contact is actually very important for your journey, okay? Also, if you work for a company, I see there could be some sort of gathering. It may be an unofficial gathering as well. So it could be work drinks, or it could be like some sort of event that has been planned, but it's not really like a business meeting, shall we say. It feels kind of fun and frivolous, the energy that I've got coming through. So perhaps there's some sort of like, you know, drinks or, you know, something organized, team building event, for example, organized for people if you work in an office or an industry. And you're going to hear about a piece of information that really is important. You should know this, but it's being kept from employees. So this could be that either someone important is leaving the company, leaving the door wide open for new opportunities, or I'm also getting an energy of some sort of merge. Okay, there's just some sort of information that is coming through that employees are not privy to at this time, but at this event, you're going to be told about it. Okay, and it may even be that you're asked to keep it as a secret. Okay, that's what I'm being given there. But it says here, party, events, meeting, reunion, crowds, playing the field, networking. Oh, we got playing the field there, networking and retreat. So playing the field, bit like moonlighting, okay, so just watch out for that, especially if your company says you shall not have a second stream of income or something like that. You know, I mean, in this day and age, that's not fair and it shouldn't happen. You know, people want to earn money to secure themselves for the future, look after their family, bills are rising, so it would be unfair. But, you know, if it's something that's in a contract, just watch out for that, because there could be someone who's a little bit disgruntled and wants to reveal your truth. And also, any new ideas, patent them. You know, copyright them, make sure that you copy people in with them, because there may be someone who tries to get there before you, or someone who tries to pretend that they were responsible for this wonderful new idea when actually you were. I see a lot of you focusing on documentation, administrative tasks this month. This could be receipts, this could be invoices, statements, things like that. And a lot of you are kind of like, especially since this card is in the resistance position at first, a lot of you may kind of like not miss out on events, but it could be that you compartmentalize your time and realize there's some things you can go to, some things you can't go to. I feel a lot of you want to be a little bit more sociable, but I feel like you are staying in the office, or you're making sure you get something done before you go out to play. This is about finding balance between work and play. The star energy, a lot of you feel, especially since the star is in the resistance position, a lot of you are feeling really unappreciated in your role right now, or you feel that you do go unnoticed. But actually, I feel there is someone like watching what you do. So, for example, if you do work for a company and they have very strict kind of like internet policies, just watch what you're watching online. Or if you're like doing a bit of shopping, you know, occasionally someone will do like a personal shop, for example, online. Just be a little bit mindful of who's lurking, coming around the corner, because I feel, and I'm not here to make you feel paranoid, I'm just getting this energy of someone like spotting something and kind of like being a bit of a tattletale on it. Don't know why this is happening, but it's coming through, so I have to keep mentioning it. I'll leave it there. I feel like you're very savvy and very intuitive. You probably know who this person is if you work in a company. But also, bringing it back to like entrepreneurs as well, this could be someone who really likes what you do and thinks your ideas are awesome. So they're constantly watching you and maybe listening to what you say. And if you say, oh, I'm going to do this, this is going to be great. Would you like me to do this? It could be, especially if you're like an influencer on a social media platform, it could be that you say that you're going to do something, but actually they rush off to try and do it first. So just be a little bit mindful. You don't have to speak about it. You can actually just do it. And then, you get there first, as it were. So that's coming through there as well. Now, the star energy, it does go into the upright. So this tells me that, hope returns in your industry if you feel that things have been challenging recently, that you've been operating in a very, challenging economic market. You may be a little bit worried or nervous about your industry and wondering how it's going. But actually, I see things picking up a little bit. I do see here that, yes, there are going to be some redundancies, or maybe it's recovery after redundancy is what I'm seeing more of, to be honest, because the star in the resistance position, when it goes into the upright, it is recovery after a challenging time. So with the 10 of Wands there, it can mean that if there's been redundancies, more people got more work to do. It's being kind of like delegated across the board rather than rehiring. But I feel the industry is starting to recoup whatever it is you work in. I feel things are, taking a very slow turn is what I see there. But on a personal level, I feel with the star energy, this is about you gaining recognition. It feels very much like, I'm actually seeing a golden circle in the water. This is interesting because I did a little meditation before I started your reading. I do one for each sign before I start a reading, just to see what images and energy come up. And I don't like to mention it unless it comes up again in the water, because I do not like to influence the reading. But I saw like a golden circle or a gold circle. It looked like it looked like a medal or a coin, for example. And right in the center, there is a money symbol, like a dollar sign. So, this could be literally like a coin or a medal or a chocolate coin, for example, or some sort of like ornament it could be. But I was being given this energy of like a golden opportunity. I actually wrote it down. I'm just going to get it for you. I did write it down here. I don't like to mention anything else that comes out. I don't like to influence it, but I do like to write it down sometimes just to highlight. And it's really interesting because you did get this star, and there is like a big gold circle there, and there is the orchard there as well. It's a garden. I'm not sure why my guys just gave me the word orchard, but perhaps some of you are, growing your own fruit or veg, or, you have an orchard. Could also indicate symbolically something that you've been investing in is starting to really grow. But it says here, I hope you can see it, gold circle with a money symbol in. I really can't even read my own writing, to be honest, but it's there. When I go into that place to write, my writing gets really kind of like all scratchy, almost like a little spider fell in a pot of ink and then like crawled across the page. So I do apologize, but it does even say chocolate coin, metal coin, entering into a golden opportunity or a closed group or association. Okay, so some of you could be entered into like a really important group or association in February, or hear news on something that you've entered into. This could be a competition for some of you that I feel you have a real chance of winning. For others, it could be that perhaps you're entered into like, or enrolling in a very important like university or class, or connected to some sort of closed off association. So it could be like you're entered into like the Entrepreneur of the Year awards, for example, or there is a certain kind of platform for people in your industry and you are tapped to join because you're so gifted and talented at what you do. The Eight of Coins, whether you work for a company or whether you're an entrepreneur, Eight of Coins tells me that you have mastered your craft to a certain degree, to the point where you are above the competition. You're someone who is very knowledgeable. You know what you do like the back of your hand. It's almost like on autopilot. So I feel, I've just even noticed just now, I'm a bit slow today, there's even like a very similar coin type shape there, but there's a figure in that one. I was seeing like a dollar symbol right in the center. So I feel this is, of course, you kind of like building in knowledge, but also building in finances, but being accepted into places or associations or environments that perhaps you felt were closed off due to nepotism. I feel you're going to be in the inner circle. Yep, so that's what I'm being given. So I'm going to move away from that energy because it's something that just briefly came up there. But the star is to be recognized for, your hard work. Some sort of award, perhaps, for some of you. This could be fame. This is a card that, when it goes in the upright, it's about you being in the spotlight, or someone shining a spotlight on your work to discuss how proud they are, or, how appreciative they are of what you're doing right now. So I would expect a token of appreciation in the month of February for you. But whatever it is you're reaching for, I feel like you shall have it, and then you're on to the next. That Eight of Cups is really giving me vibes that, once you've completed something, you're like, okay, done, and on to the next. You don't tend to give yourself a moment to really recognize how awesome you are or what you're doing. So celebrate your wins a little bit more is what I'm being given. Also, I feel for some of you in the month of February, especially if you work for a company, there could be some sudden absences is what I'm being given. People just suddenly calling up and saying, oh, I'm unwell, or, people suddenly booking travel or something. It just feels like there's a more sparse environment or a skeleton kind of surface energy there. So it could be that you're picking up the slack in that. I mean, especially if you're an entrepreneur, I feel a lot of you have gotten into a routine, or you've hit a plateau. You want to keep things fresh and new. So whilst you're still doing your routines, you want to try new things and be explorative so that you can keep things interesting for you, but also keep things moving forward so that people don't get tired of your goods or service. But they won't. I want you to be aware of that. They love what you do, whatever it is, because the star energy indicates that people go to you. There's going to be more traction or attention coming to your business or services or whatever it is that you do. So with that star energy, there's a brighter future financially for you, but also in terms of you feeling fulfilled in your working environment. Now, that 10 of Wands, it is in the resistance position, which actually is very, very positive. It means a new start. It also means that, things are recovering. Some of you may even be working super hard right now in order to take a break and have a bit of freedom. That's why I was getting this energy of freedom in your working environment. Some of you, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you've cracked it. You have got online and you have the ability to be very nomadic in your career, or perhaps this is something you're working towards right now. But I do see new opportunities which will increase your workload. And as you move into the end of February, I feel like things pick up pace and you're a little bit busier. Because that 10 of Wands, it will go into the upright, which tells me that, you may be at capacity at the end of the month. So working really hard, but also the bouquet tells me it's worth it. There's sweet reward there. And I feel you don't mind the hard work, as long as you can see evidence that you are making a difference, you're making a mark, that you're on target, and your finances are reflected in whatever it is that you do. So I would also say just be a little bit mindful of overcommitting yourself or spreading yourself too thin, especially if you have a couple of fingers in pies there, which I feel, looking at your reading, my beautiful Capricorn, you do. We do have the bouquet there. So this is a time of flourishing. This is a time of doors opening up for you. And, I feel lots of invitations or curiosity, shall we say, about your industry, learning more, meeting different people, creating connections and creative alliances is starred for you in February. And I feel it really just helps open more doors for you. This could literally be that you're in the elevator at an office that you work in, and suddenly the person who is in charge of the whole business, the CEO or the person who is completely running the show, gets into the lift, and you may feel that this person doesn't actually know who you are, but they do, and they have a conversation with you, and you really click. And it can be that this person wants to elevate you. They want you to thrive and flourish in the company. They see your skill set and they don't want to lose you, because when you get to a certain plateau, a good business and a good boss knows that they must keep the people who work really well. And if they don't give incentives, then of course they're going to look elsewhere. So I feel you could actually have an opportunity like that in the month of February. For some of you, if you're an entrepreneur, this could be that you find yourself in an experience with a market leader or someone who is in your industry who is iconic, and you're like, oh my gosh. And this person, they take a bit of a shine to you, and I feel they offer some new possibilities or want to connect you to someone. And this just makes you feel super excited, and you will really explore that. Now we've got a gift, joy, beauty, happiness, blossoming, appreciation. I did feel that there. Appreciation, invitation, and attention. There's 2 cards here about invitations. I would say it's very important for networking this month. I would say also that this month is all about you enjoying what you do and really kind of thriving in an environment where other people, it's almost like you are persevering at something, no distractions, really focused. And other people, they may not be as time effective as you, but I feel this is about you doing things that other people perhaps don't think about, going above and beyond, or doing things that perhaps other people are not able to. It just feels like you are really setting yourself apart in some way, especially with the star. This is recognition, it's success. I mean, if you are someone who is online or is connected to social media, this could be something that you do goes viral or gets a lot of attention, which brings even more attention to whatever it is that you do. But we also have that 8 of Cups there. So the 8 of Cups, it can indicate that, you're kind of like discovering more about what you're capable of. 8 of Cups is always someone walking away from, 8 Cups because they're in search of something else. So it can be that you're tying up loose ends, you've finished projects, and now you're looking for other things to do. And with that Fool card, it could be that some of you, you've got some free time and you're wondering, what do you do with that free time? Do you go and have fun? Do you organize things? Do you set up new projects? Do you get busy doing something else? So I feel this is about you kind of like appreciating that you will have a little bit of free time at some point in February in order to return to things that perhaps need doing, but also I feel like you complete those as well. And that 8 of Cups, this can indicate that some of you are looking at certain tasks or responsibilities that perhaps feel unfulfilling or waste your time. So it could be you outsourcing, some of your day-to-day duties. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be that you are going to maybe discover like a digital assistant, a PA, an organizer, or perhaps an accountant or a financial advisor, for example, who can help you in your endeavors. For some of you, if you work in a company, it could be that perhaps there is a potential when you have this appraisal to have an assistant. And I would say just be a little bit mindful of your assistant. I feel like, they're willing to help, but I feel more than anything, looking at it, the way I see it is this person, they just don't complete tasks. It's like they start something and, they take a long time to do it, and it reflects on you is what I'm seeing. And then if you challenge this person on it, they may say, well, I don't really understand the computer program, or it feels like this person's got an excuse for everything. So just watch out for that, okay? I'm just going to pull a quick card on that 8 of Cups for you. The 8 of Cups, it basically can indicate that some of you, especially when you're doing like tax time and you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you're looking at, your gains and losses. 8 of Cups can be a loss card. So it can be that you're walking away, or you're like contemplating everything that you have achieved over the year, and you're looking at your gains and losses. There's always kind of like investments and losses and, calculating those things. So it could be that you're in the midst of that. But also I feel with that 8 of Cups, a lot of you are realizing that something is no longer working. So it could be that perhaps your internet provider is slow. It could be that perhaps a filing system isn't working, or an app that you use is like a little bit outdated and you need to renew it or update it, or maybe find an alternative in some way. So I feel, please apply it to a more practical energy. 8 of Cups doesn't always mean that you're walking away from something. It can be that you're completing something and now you're searching for something else to do. It could also mean that, you're in search of something magical and different and special. And the star energy is you achieving that. It could also be that you're not searching for recognition, but you feel that you need some sort of incentive to stay where you're at right now. And if it's not something financial, or if it's not, someone saying, you're doing a great job, then perhaps you're like, I'm going to look elsewhere. So I feel like you are valuing who you are and what you have to offer in your industry, and you're not afraid to walk away if it's not for you, you know. So I also feel this energy of stock taking. Okay, so it could be that you're in the middle of a stock take, or you will be doing big stock taking events in the month of February, and some of you could just be taking stock of what you do and how you're influencing your circumstances. We got the Eight of Pentacles there. Yeah. So Eight of Pentacles, you're in the flow, working really hard, focused, you know, diligent. Some of you could be, you know, trying to save your finances to purchase a home or move home or move to a different neighborhood or move to a different country for some of you. Four of Wands is really good news. As I mentioned, there's some sort of news coming in here that will, you know, be celebrated. Four of Wands also indicates networking event. This is about, you know, a very creative phase, you kind of like taking pleasure in what you do, but also finding yourself with like-minded people. They always say that, you know, humans, we are energy, and if we spend time with negative people or people who always say, oh, you can't do that, or yeah, I tried that, it didn't work, and, you know, those people are like stifling energy. They are the people who do not find solutions to problems. You need to work with like-minded people who are like, okay, that seems a little bit impossible, but let's make it happen. You know, it's really kind of like the people you surround yourself with. So I feel this could be you challenging yourself to network a little bit more if you're an entrepreneur, but also it could be, you know, that there is some sort of event. I keep coming back to this kind of like event or meeting or something that you will experience in February that brings a lot of joy. There's celebration here for you. This is a reward card. This is like you achieving something, or maybe even changing something that you will celebrate later on. It's also an energy of like moving premises for some of you. So it could be that you are relocating your business or migrating your business overseas, or perhaps the company you work for, they're going through some refurbishments and moving offices around, or maybe even moving floors, or actually moving a building, or maybe even going to a new branch, or something about it is changing. But ultimately, when you get there, it just feels like it's fresher, like it's better, freer, you know, more light, more air, more, I don't know, it just feels better. We've also got that Page of Wands, which is a fresh new project, news that gives you a spring in your step, news that you are excited about. You're, you know, venturing forward to explore further. You know, this card is a very exciting card. It means that you're being bold and daring, and you're committed to something that you're passionate about, and you're going to hear lots of news about it where, you know, you're taking things to the next level. This is also a very spontaneous card, so it could be that something that you're excited about that comes in spontaneously has a lot of potential, but it's also a catalyst for change. You're creative, you're inspired, you have a new idea, and you're not afraid to move forward with it. So I would say this is a pretty exciting, explorative month. Pages also have a strong connection to Fool card energy. You know, it's about this kind of like youthful approach in your working environment, especially if you've done something for a long time. We can get like stuck in our ways. We can, you know that we know something and just do it day to day, to the point where it becomes a bit of a routine. And sometimes that can really chip away at our confidence or chip away at our sense of progress. And, you know, this is about keeping things fresh and you being very explorative with new like technology or software or new practices, and just, you know, just to make you feel like inspired. And the Fool, I mean, a lot of your energy, and perhaps I'm getting about 20% of my beautiful Capricorns out there trying a new role or moving into a new job or sector. A course correction for some of you could be that you're completely starting afresh, starting from the very beginning, which is very exciting. It means a blank canvas. But the Fool card is all about adventure. It's about taking a chance. It's about looking before you leap, especially if you sign a contract. You know, it's also an energy of you taking a risk or a gamble on something, but it is a calculated risk. It's maybe launching something. Fool card is to launch, you know, so I feel big launch energy that will open doors for you. But Fool card is literally fresh new ideas. So I would say you're going to have lots of wonderful new ideas this month. Money will remain the same, but I feel it kind of will increase slightly with something from the past. If you have like residuals or royalties, or perhaps if you're a freelancer, it could be that someone from the past that you worked for, pays their dues in the month of February there. It could be that you're on to the next contract, for example. But for the rest of you, I feel this is a time of flourishing and noting that you're being watched, especially if you work in a company. There is an opportunity coming up, and I feel like they are looking at you to figurehead this or step into a fresh new role that will actually really benefit you, and you'll see yourself grow in the company. And I'm just getting some final cards here. There is a rogue card in this deck. It's different from all the other ones. It's meant to be in there, okay? So I just want you to be aware. Okay, I think they want that one that kind of came out there as well. Okay, so, oh, my guides want one more, so I will give it. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide that one? Okay, so we have Rose. Okay, now roses represent sweet reward, something that was difficult. There's always thorns on that rose, but it's worth it. So I do see that you're blossoming in your industry, even though it may have been challenging. It says financial relief, being content, loving care, supportive role, job security, and growing. Okay, I did pick up on someone getting like an assistant or having some sort of support, even in an industry where perhaps it's hard to find support, but I do see that there is some on offer for you. I mean, we also have giving and receiving. That's a reciprocity of all the effort you put in and financially what you get out there. Sudden windfall. Okay. I'm just hearing. Okay, I don't know what song this is, but I just heard more money, more money. Okay, it's a masculine voice that sings this. It sounds like they were kind of like talking rather than singing. More money is how it went. I can't tell you who sings that. I don't know what song that is. It was just a burst. So maybe you're going to hear a song that says more money, more money. I mean, that would be wonderful, right? But Eight of Pentacles tells me that what you got last month kind of like is the same. You're in a routine. This is something that's expected money coming in. But I feel like you're setting yourself up for opportunities in March and April to either increase through a promotion or maybe some sort of like investment increase, like in alignment with inflation, but also a bonus for some of you. But February, it just feels like it's a plateau month, okay? We've got generosity, financial support, work surprise, and vacation. A lot of you with that Fool card and the Eight of Cups, you're tying up loose ends in order to go on a vacation. So it could be you're finishing projects there. We've also got hand, manifesting money, reaching goals, financial assistant, hands-on work, and help getting a job, okay? So if you are looking for a role, as I said, I feel like there's two. One of them, just be a little bit mindful. There's a high turnover of people in the role that you're going for. Okay, and that's going to tell you something. So we've also got Clover. Okay, and it says here, lucky break, gamble, good fortune, chance. The Fool card is all about chance. Finance, outdoors, risky business, surprises. Now, I don't see any risky businesses, but I mean, that fox could highlight, a risky endeavor, especially if you're in like stocks and shares and things like that. That's always risky. But I would just say, with the Ace of Swords, you're really clued up. You know what you're doing. Just keep your eye on things. I mean, Eight of Pentacles, you're safeguarding a lot of the finances, the bulk of your finances. So just watch out for that. With the Ace of Swords, I don't see you doing anything risky, to be honest. But it's there, so I gotta mention it. If anything seems too good to be true ever, do due diligence. But 9 times out of 10, if it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. So I just want you to be aware of that. Now I'm just gonna go and get a trinket or room before we go. Okay, I got a button here, and I think a trinket. Yeah, we got a spoon. Okay, so spoon to help yourself to more. Maybe more money, as that song said there. But we've got a spoon there, so extra helping. Okay, it could also be, as I mentioned earlier, someone like stirring the pot. Maybe someone who's a little bit like grouchy, tattletale. But also, the spoon could be that you are kind of like taking it one bit at a time. You're compartmentalizing things. It's like you're going back for more, or you're, dealing with something. And then when you're done, you're on to the next. You're not like looking at it as a whole. You're prioritizing, compartmentalizing there as well. But I mean, whenever I think of a spoon, and this one is in the shape of a shell there. So it could be that you're listening to the ingredients that are like necessary for you to enjoy what you do. So it could be your heart is whispering and you're listening to your heart. What are the ingredients that you feel are missing in your career? But whenever I think of a spoon, I think of like having like sugar, and sugar is sweet. So it could be that, you're not looking for the quick fix, but you're looking for something that is rewarding, and you're looking for something that is a sweet deal, for example. And we've also got a cat in a hat. Okay. So this represents independent energy. Okay. Being financially independent. This sort of button keeps coming up. So perhaps some of you are dressing the part for a role. I mean, there's little cards there as well. So some of you may actually have a tarot reading on a career or industry that comes up that you should pay attention to. I mean, aside from this one, I feel it's something that perhaps you've booked personally. But also, I mean, cats, they look before they leap. And it could be that when you have your eye on something that you are poised and ready to pounce or leap on something. Maybe it's connected to that alligator that I saw earlier. So that's what I'm being given right now. So please take it as it resonates. Could also be a logo, maybe a fancy cat logo that you'll see over the next coming weeks or months. I mean, a lot of you could be launching an independent business with that card and that button there. Okay, so good luck with that. I see it's going to be very lucrative indeed. And I'll leave it there. If you are in an industry where you are an independent worker already, I do see that your industry is picking up for you, and it's going to be a little bit more lucrative than it has been for a while. So I hope something resonates in that reading. Also, if you'd like to be in the chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is envisage the earth in a golden healing light. I really feel we're going to need it this year. That's all I ask of you. So if you please could take a couple of seconds to just do that, and collectively we can make a difference if we visualize. Remember, thoughts become things. So together we rise, right? So if when you've done that, in the comments box below, just put an emoji of a world and a heart. And if you don't have access to emojis, then please just write the words world and heart, and I'll enter you into a competition, and one subscriber will win that. I'll announce the winner in February. Okay. Thank you so much, my beautiful Capricorn, and love and light.